What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Axe Creation. And on this week's lesson, we do a little riff writing with the Phrygian mode using only 2 chords. So what we like to do here on this channel is to take a musical concept and look at ways that we can incorporate it into our guitar playing, our riff writing, and our songwriting. And what I want to talk about this week is the Phrygian mode. Now, in the rock and metal world, Phrygian is one of our go-to sounds, right? Because you have the key note of Phrygian is that half step or 1 fret above the root. That's going to give you a lot of tension and a very dark sound. So we're going to explore Phrygian mode today, but like I said, we're only going to use 2 chords, right? So we're in a drop D tuning, so that means we're going to be in D Phrygian, and the 2 chords we're going to basically shape and craft everything out of is going to be E flat and F, both major triads. All right, so let's give it a listen to the example, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Let's jump into this example and talk about how these 2 chords bring out the sound of D Phrygian. Okay, so first, like I mentioned before, I am in a drop D tuning. If you want to follow along with the transcription or tabs, down in the description below you will find a link for a PDF and Guitar Pro versions of the transcription. And while you're down there, please click on that subscribe button because we do this weekly. Okay, so we're in the key of D Phrygian, right? And like I said, we're only going to be playing or taking our notes from 2 major triads, and that is E flat major and F major. So if we look at those chords, let's go to the, say, 5th position area, and we play an F major chord. So we have F, A, C, or across 3 strings we have 8, 7, 5. And if we move that down a step, we have E flat, G, B flat. So if you look at those 6 notes, or the notes of those chords, you'll see that essentially you have every note in the key of D Phrygian except D. All right, so the F chord is going to give you very stable tones, and the E flat chord is going to have that E flat, which is a half step above, very tense, right? And it's also going to have the B flat, right, that half step. Those are the 2 places in between these chords where you'll have half step resolutions. Okay, so that's one thing you're going to want to explore. All right, so those where your tension is, that's where all your color and the flavor of Phrygian are going to come from, those 2 notes. So let's talk about the riff we play, right? We already talked about we're going to drop D tuning, and one way that I always love to explore not only the sound of a mode, but what intervals sound like against your root note is to just drone out against your low string. So in this case we have our open D, and we're gonna target a couple of notes, right? F and E flat. So F on the 5th string is 8. So if I play those 2 notes together, and then that 5th fret is our root, and hopefully you can hear that 3rd, that F is the 3rd of D. So right, that's going to make the chord minor, right? So when you play the F and the D together, you're going to get that kind of sad minor chord sound, right? So now if I move down a half step to the 6th fret and I play the open D string, now I'm going to get a very tension-filled sound. Right, because those notes are so close together. So they're going to clash a lot. So that's what I'm shaping that opening riff. I'm playing here, down to here, and then I'm going to grab that kind of vibe, right? A whole step or 2 frets behind our root, that up to the half step, and then down. Right, so we're going to go with that vibe. So basically we have this rhythm, and that's the opening riff. Very simple, very straightforward, but it's going to give you that dark Phrygian sound, and you're going to highlight the F and the E flat to really bring out the sound, the minor sound and the dark sound of Phrygian. Okay, so that's going to repeat, and then what we're going to do, instead of going down to this area, we're going to just shoot up and we're going to aim for that other half step resolution, and that's between the A on the 12 and the B flat on the 13. So the second time we're going to shoot up there, and we're going to let those notes ring out. Then we're going to go into more like a thrashy Macedon style riff, right? And so power chords, very simple. On the D, on the root, 5th fret, down a whole step, up to the 6th fret. Right? And those are the chords we're playing. Right? It's fast, it's up tempo. You can slow it down if you want to, if you can't do one of those, right? So it's right? And then we're gonna do some little fills here. And you've probably guessed it if you heard it, but we're just outlining F and E flat major, right? So we have the F chord again in 5th position, reverse, we're going down, right? C, A, F, and then moving down. And I'm doing the same thing, but kind of outlining, just on the low string, an octave lower, right? F would be the 3rd fret, E flat would be the 1st fret. How do you play a major chord? Right there, and again, we're just going backwards through those notes. Right, and then there's that little section right there. So there we're just doing a little chug pattern on the open string and then using those 2 chords as fills. So there you go, that's how we create this Phrygian, dark Phrygian tense sound using only 2 chords as our inspiration. All right, so the next lesson we'll revisit the same idea, but we're going to take those concepts of the E flat major chord and the F chord, and we'll kind of find some melodic ideas over this example. All right, so like I said, down in the description below you can find a transcription, PDF, or Guitar Pro. Please subscribe while you're down there, and as always, let me know what you come up with. So until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.